Should the NXL stop releasing layouts early? Let's take this back like 13 years. So like 13 years ago, we started this X-Ball format. The field shrunk down a lot. Guns were shooting like 15 balls a second full auto. There was sideline coaching. It felt at the time like we were like modernizing paintball. We were trying to pull out of the woods, make the game faster and more exciting. But as the years have gone by, we've slowed the guns down, made the field bigger, got rid of coaching, and kind of gone backwards a little. Which I think's good. Paintball's always kind of been about being sneaky and getting like an advantage on your opponent without them knowing. Getting rid of coaching helped that. It made for really more exciting dynamic moves where guys could like run down the field. There wasn't just a coach on the sideline yelling and screaming like, he's coming! And then the guys just would all turn and shoot the guy. It was pretty lame. But to make this game even more exciting and interesting, should we get rid of releasing layouts early? Yeah, I think so. I think it would be really sweet if it was like old 10-man style days where you'd show up at the tournament and you're like, this is interesting. And you have to figure it out as the day went on, as the matches went on. I just think it's cooler. We've also talked about how hard it is for some of these teams to compete. Like, let's look at Aftershock for an example. They can't really practice the months leading up to the first event. I mean, it's like February in Chicago, where it's cold and wet and rainy and snowy, and the weather's just not permitting for them to play the field. So I think releasing the layout at the event might help even the playing field just a little bit more. Aftershock will never be able to practice as much as like Impact and Heat, but at least they won't be at a disadvantage because they didn't get to play the layout as much. And it just adds a whole new dimension to the thing. You'd have to figure out game plans as you went along. It wouldn't just be like, we know our 7 breakouts and we're just gonna do those all the time. Maybe we'll switch them up to figure out what breakouts work. You have to figure out what bounce shots worked and lanes and all that stuff. So I think it'd be cool if we went back to the days where we didn't know the layout until the tournament. It's not just the NXL I think should change the layout rules. It's everyone. But the NXL's kind of set the standard. If they do something, most of the other leagues will follow suit. Like back in the day, the PSP changed their rate of fire rules, they changed the bunker sets and all this stuff, and then everyone else does it. If the NXL stops releasing layouts, maybe everyone else will too. I think it's a good idea. I just remember going to 5-man events like 15 years ago, and you'd show up and the field would be total random and everyone would be out there walking it and trying to figure out what's going on. I liked it. Maybe I'm just old and bitter and want it to be like the old days, but I don't think so. Like, I'm not that old or negative toward new things. What do you guys think? Should we release layouts even earlier? Should we release them 1 week before the event? Should we not release them at all? Should we have all different layouts and make the pros play like 4 different fields? What would be interesting? Let's start like a hashtag NXL layout, hashtag no NXL layouts. I don't know. That's like Brad's opinion time. I did another video where I was like, the NXL should ban padding and people lost their mind. But check that out in that rectangle box, or like always, Paintball Ruin My Life store in square one, circle, and subscribe.